Welcome everybody to the Getaway podcast with Tony and Sean. This is Tony.
I am Sean. What's up, son?
And we are here once again after another long, eventful week, just trying to get away from all the nonsense for about an hour.
Too many
Thank you
events.
for joining us.
Yeah, too many events.
So many events this week. One thing though is consistent. I sound great in this new mic. Thank you, Sean.
We're doubled up now.
And I got my double spit guard on.
Doubled up. Yes, sir.
Now, in all seriousness, this week, man, a lot of events, a lot of things going on, a lot of things to talk about. We're gonna try to keep it light. Just know this: on our podcast, we talk about what we want to talk about,
Ooh.
the way we want to talk about
Ooh.
it, and our goal is simply to allow you about an hour to get away from whatever it is you want to get away from.
That's right.
Enjoy. Hopefully you like it. If not, I'll listen to it. But we're glad you are. So anyway,
if you don't like it, don't listen.
Anyway.
What?
hey, like my 10-year-old son would say, "Dad, you're on one." Well, I kind of am, because quite frankly, man, my patience is just wearing thin with knuckleheads. My patience is wearing thin with audacity, with the comfort level that folks have,
Ooh.
with their mouths and the things that they're saying. And
Right.
we can all go back and say, okay, well, it reflects this and reflects that. Yeah, you're probably right. But for today, we're going to have a good time for about an hour.
We're going to try.
So what's up in Cali?
You know what's up? Sunshine and tacos, son. Oh, Lord. Don't ruin the moment. Sunshine and
man,
tacos. Ain't nothing changed.
I had tacos last night.
Taco Bell?
No, steak. I had steak tacos from El Toro.
Oh, yeah?
Along with a big old margarita.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Straight from the tree of Marguerite, like, our friend Bill Baglio is enjoying some margaritas.
Yes.
Said it was like a juice. And I said it's straight from the tree of Marguerite.
There you go.
That's it.
He's got a nice setup out there, man.
Yeah, he does.
He's got a nice little getaway in the backyard.
Yep. You got a little TV out there.
Yes.
When I come home, I'm going over there.
And I'll tell you, that'd be nice. Nice little getaway. Nice little vacation spot in your backyard.
Right.
So
you got a lot of those out here,
Ohio.
man.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They got a lot of those out here. You'll see houses with TV set up and bars in the backyard because it doesn't rain.
Okay.
So the TVs are outside all the time.
I saw one of my neighbors. They got a set up in their back. They got a nice covered back patio.
Mm-hmm.
And they put in a nice pizza maker, a pizza oven.
That's right.
Out there, they've got a nice 55-inch. It looks like TV.
Yeah.
On one of the pillars, if you will. Nice little cover on it.
The fire pit going. Yeah.
Yeah. A little ceiling fan action going on.
That's right. That's how they do it.
Doing it up nice. So I love checking out what folks are doing.
Yeah, I need that in my life. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yep. So Ohio, it was hot this week.
Yeah.
Again. The 90s. We got a little rain. Yep. Football, high school football is back in full effect. We had our first week. Haven't heard any big negatives yet.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of teams playing, a lot of kids back on the field. And kudos to the Indians of Stebbins High School. Hold on, you got the claps going? You got the claps ready to go?
Oh, no, I don't.
Come on, production man.
Oh, man, I wasn't ready.
Tape, labels, labels.
I need what?
What? Labels.
Huh? Shout out to the Indians.
Yes. Shout out Coach Bonifay. and the Stebbins Indians. 1-0. They defeated the Pirates of West Carrollton in a barn burner comeback win, right? Comeback win,
man. They were trailing most of the game.
Love it, man. Love it.
And then they dropped bomb at the end in the fourth quarter. They dropped that bomb. Hey, that kid Marvelous Rutledge, man, he's nice. Little running back. And evidently our friend David Thomas went out there and gave a little, midweek speech, motivational speech.
All right.
Class of
I saw
'90.
I saw David did that. I saw Brent
Yeah,
was
Brent White.
there last week.
Yeah,
Saw Coach Place.
man.
So yes, Stebbins royalty.
Bonnie is digging into his bag, man. Pulling out all the
Hey,
stops, whatever it
whatever it
takes.
takes. Whatever it takes. That's right. That's right. A lot of good games this week, man. A lot of close games.
Yeah.
I'm just sure kids and coaches glad to be back. Dayton Public Schools voted to bring back the sports. So they're getting started again with practices, and it'll be interesting to see what the schedule looks like. But um, I can tell you with coaching Pee Wee football, we got started again,
Mm-hmm.
made that decision. And I'll tell you, it wasn't an easy one, and wasn't real sure if it was the right one until we got out there and saw the kids, saw the faces, and saw how hard they were ready to work, and had a great week of conditioning. Kids worked their butts off, but all in all, you could just tell they were just happy to be back out there. So the ask is, let's all make sure we're doing everything in our power to follow whatever protocols, whether you like them or not, whether you think they're silly or not, whether you think they make a difference or not. Let's just follow the protocols and do our best, and try to do it at least for the kids.
Right.
So
You know,
it is.
if people have listened to this before, they've heard me say we're not going to have football. I've been concerned about it the entire time. Now, the true test will come, the next few days
Right.
after spending a Friday banging heads and exchanging fluids and being really close, no social distancing. We'll see the results of that. Hopefully, no one catches any kind of virus, and then they can continue to
That's right.
play. Nobody. I don't want to wish for anybody to test positive just so I can be right. You know what I mean? Like I want it to be safe. I want everybody to be okay. And my concern is having a child get sick, get really sick, or pass. And I don't want that. I don't want that for anybody
Absolutely.
involved. So, yeah, man, I'm excited. I watched Stebbins play on. They had a little stream. A lot of schools were doing the streaming, right?
Yes.
So I watched Stebbins, and I watched your squad that you support down there in Cincy.
St. Xavier.
I
St.
watched
Xavier
them.
went
Yeah.
out to Brownsburg, Indiana. Just I believe it's just west of Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Played a televised game on ESPN2
Mm-hmm.
last night.
Yeah.
It was a barn burner as well.
Overtime. Yeah.
Overtime loss. They fell to Brownsburg, but it was once again, it was good to just kind of be able to sit back and watch it, and just see the kids fired up, and
Right.
you could tell they've worked hard to get out there and be at this point. So
Those uniforms
yeah,
look good though.
we got football.
The uniforms look real good.
What's that? Yeah, they did. I know a guy. I know a guy who does that.
That's what's up.
Who does that.
That's
But
what's up.
yeah, so like you said, man, hopefully time will tell. Hopefully, we can see good results as far as health continue,
Right.
and hopefully we're going in the right direction.
Right.
But all in all, just steps back, baby steps back to hopefully what we can term as normalcy at some point in time here soon.
Right.
So
I'm here for it.
still haven't went out to eat yet. I think we were talking about potentially venturing out at the end of this week
Mm-hmm.
to a trusted spot with a couple family members. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. We just haven't done that yet. Um, just trying to do things the right way.
I understand.
So
I'm gonna stay in the house.
all right.
I'm gonna stay in the house, man. I'll just wait.
I can dig it.
I don't
I can dig it.
like Eva wants to go. She wants to go out and do some things, and I'm like nervous as hell about it.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to get it. I catch a regular cold and I feel
Mhm.
terrible for a week, let alone some new virus. Some people.
Right.
So we've had people who we know have gotten it, and they dealt with it and they were fine. But they're relatively healthier. They're way healthier than I am. So if something happens to me, my concern is what's my body going to react? How is it going to react to that? So I'll just hang out. I'll wait a little while longer.
One thing I'll say is these kids we have out here playing Pee Wee have never been cleaner. We line up. We say, okay, line up, hands out,
Yeah.
sanitizer. One of our assistant coaches brought in a spray,
Yeah.
sanitizer spray, so we spray them down, douse them.
Yeah.
We send them back cleaner than they show up.
That's what's up.
So
Those are the type of precautions that need to be taking place. And let me tell you something else. Instant up downs. If I catch your hands in your mouth or your face, right now, get them
I
chopping.
have called kids out this week. Get your filthy hands out of your face.
Get them chopping, son.
That's right. That's right. But it's, we told the parents, if you have an issue with us sanitizing your child's hand, so be it. Make sure you pack a thing of sanitizer in their pocket, and they can reach for their own when we're doing it.
Right.
So, but nobody had an issue. Everybody's been supportive, man. I mean,
good work.
You got a good group of parents anyway, a group of kids.
You got that Alabama staff too. You got like 20 coaches on your staff.
We got yes, biggest staff in the in the organization.
In the state, son. You got the biggest Pee-wee staff in the state of Ohio.
But you know what? We joke about it, but
right.
honestly, a big reason for it was to make sure that we are able to go above and beyond.
So next year, when this is all done, and you have to fire 5 of those dudes, what's going?
We're still gonna be good.
Okay, good.
But I just just to make sure we're able to do all the extra stuff.
Right.
We're not gonna use we don't have enough people as the excuse.
Right.
And it's not just about the number of people, but it's also the quality of people, and we've got some great guys that are out there for the right reasons. So that's that.
That's what's up.
So moving on to a little bit of a more somber note.
Okay.
We've lost some famous people and celebrities lately, and I don't even want to just make it about celebrities, man, because a lot of times we as people we publicize, and when folks pass that are famous. But I'll tell you what, man, it's 2020. In addition to being the COVID-19 swift kick in the groin, okay, a lot of people have lost folks, man. Our family has dealt with the same thing. We just lost a member of our extended family this week as well. We've seen it, for a lot of people. So shout out to everybody that's dealing with that this year. It's tough with everything else added in. But yeah, we did have a very famous celebrity that did pass, and the story is it's awesome, man. It's just awesome the way he carried himself. So talk about that a little bit.
Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther, huh? Black Panther. I'm representing today.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever. Passed of colon cancer, 43 years old. And he's been fighting 43. It for 4 years. And I don't know the exact number of movies. People have run down a list, and I'm not sure exactly what it is. But I want to say that they said Black Panther was filmed. I'm trying to look it up now. 42, which is the Jackie Robinson story. And a few other movies were all filmed while he had been diagnosed with colon cancer. And my takeaway from that is 21 Bridges is another one. Maybe Get On Up, the James Brown story, and The Five Bloods, the Spike Lee movie. But my take on that is that dude has maximized his time here. Like, I get up and I'm working remote a few days a week, man. I'm struggling to get up to get to the couch to log into work. And this dude is walking around with cancer, making these movies, which I know are stressful and taxing on the body. And he didn't release it. He didn't tell anybody in the media. I don't know if there were any producers or people in the film part of it that knew. I'm not sure. But man, that dude went through all of that treatments and probably feeling terrible, and was able to provide us with all of that entertainment and inspiration, because the Black Panther, being the first black lead of a superhero, that's what we want to call it, a superhero movie, man, that's huge. That's huge for the culture. For a bunch of kids of color to see somebody in the lead and majority of the movie was people of color, black people. And it to be positive and all that stuff, man, that's huge. He played Thurgood Marshall. Think about this. He played Thurgood Marshall, Jackie Robinson, the Black Panther, James Brown. He played all those roles. Those are all, I mean, like real life people, and then a superhero that everybody can look up to. Man, what a career! And I'm going to miss that dude.
Absolutely.
Because he was really, really positive, man. And I felt really bad for a moment yesterday morning when I read that he had done all that stuff while he was sick, man. I felt really, really bad because we lose a guy that was positive. And that dude got me wearing a shirt. He got me going out and buying a shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like I had never bought no Superman, you know, and I'm going to miss him, man.
Yeah. Like you said, very inspirational. Very popular actor in recent years. It's unfortunate. It's definitely unfortunate. It's the fact, like you said, that he had basically done all of that, and his circle was so tight.
Yeah.
They were able to keep that under wraps. You look at people were mentioning how, he would be on the award shows and people were talking about he was sick and kind of pointing at his size and things like that. And just people didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
Didn't have a clue. And so once again, that's a great lesson for all of us. We have no idea a lot of times what's going on.
Right.
Everything doesn't require an opinion.
No.
Everything doesn't require.
Evidently, he had taken down some pictures. He had posted, I think, maybe on Instagram, and people were talking about how he looked bad, and he had to take down pictures and then stop posting pictures because his health was failing him, and that's
right.
We're so judgmental sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what anybody's going through, like you said, and the first thing you want to do is
that's right.
throw something out there just for a like or whatever.
That's right.
Rest in power,
right.
man. Rest in power.
Absolutely. Absolutely. People talk about Black Panther 2, and there'll be time to have those discussions.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it doesn't sound like the filming had begun for that. So, interested to see which direction they take that. Either way, I think just watching that movie it will remind us all of him and the work that he's put in, preceding it.
I know where they can go.
It makes me look forward to that even more.
They can go. I know they can go. They can do two things. One or two things. They can let his sister become the Black Panther because that's the lineage, right? She's the next in line. Or they can treat it like they did Batman, where you have different actors playing the role, the thought of Batman. Like they can treat Black Panther it's a thought, right? So it could be.
Yeah, I'm interested to see.
You know who it could be?
Go.
You know who it could be? One of my next favorite guys, Denzel Washington's son, John David. He's a pretty good actor. He was in Ballers. You ever watch Ballers?
I have not.
What is going on, man? What are we doing?
I'll wait till it gets canceled and I'll watch it on demand.
The show is over. It ended. It had like a 4 or 5 season run. What else was he in? Have you seen Black Klansman, Spike Lee movie?
I have seen the highlights.
That's Denzel Washington's son.
Looking forward to seeing that though, because I love the story.
But yeah,
love the story.
He could play the Black Panther.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what I'm saying. Keep along the lines of the thought of the character versus having to use characters or people that are already in the movie. You could think of it as a thought. Just like they do Batman. Now, how many guys have played Batman? 5, 6?
Oh my goodness. Batman, James Bond.
Yeah, right. So treat it like that. And then that way that character can live on forever. Instead of it, you lose the main character, the person who's playing it, and now it goes away. So
Right. No, definitely interested to see how they do that.
Yeah, I think that's what they'll do.
Another thing this week,
Mm-hmm.
we dealt with a lot of. I tell you what, this week has been a packed week of just struggle, strife, challenge
Yeah.
um, for our country.
Right.
You know, we have more protests and boycotting going on. You
Uh-huh.
know, we have more senseless in some people's minds actions leading to more folks wanting to voice, their opinions and displeasure of where we're at as a country.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit, man. We we want to get away from things, but I also think we never want to stick our heads in the sand. These
Right.
things are happening.
Right.
I think we would be silly to not at least discuss them.
Yeah.
And then obviously we always look to work through and come out the other side better. So go ahead and talk about that a little bit, Sean.
What you want me to talk about? Why I gotta be the one to talk about
Sending it to you.
Huh?
I'm sending it to you, Sean. Now this week, we had another example of what some folks would say excessive
Yeah.
uh,
It's excessive.
force, on a member of the Black community. We're not gonna go into all the details of the event. The reality of it is, there is a mindset in this country that is justified, and that is things are not equitable. And let me preface this, okay? And this is, and I'm being serious about this. I respect the position that law enforcement holds.
Yes.
I respect and appreciate what it is there for and what it is there to do for my family
Right.
and friends and basically every citizen in this country.
Right.
Okay. Respect that position. I feel like the folks that should be the most upset and up in arms over the things that are happening repeatedly in this country are the quality law enforcement officers
Mm-hmm.
who take the oath to protect and serve. If I am one of those folks, I have to constantly deal with and answer for
Yeah.
ones that are less than
Mm-hmm.
wearing the badge.
Right.
Okay. I should be up in arms more than anybody else.
That's right.
We talk about victims. We talk about a race. We talk about all these different folks who are upset, and I get it. We should all be upset that we have to turn on the TV and have these conversations night after night and share them with our kids and hope for a better day. But if I'm a law enforcement officer who is here to do it the right way, okay, that's people say, where's the change going to come from? What's really the change that we need? Guess what? That's the change we need. We
Right.
need for folks that do it the right way, who I do believe outnumber. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's my personal opinion. I do believe they outnumber the ones who don't.
Right.
Guess what? Make it right.
Right.
Make it right.
Right.
Take them to the curb. Get them out of there because they represent you.
Yeah.
Okay, and if you don't want to be represented that way, then do something about it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they'll continue to soil the position, okay, that quite frankly deserves better.
Yes.
That's my opinion.
I agree. I agree.
Um,
So look,
we're dealing with that. Go ahead.
When we talk about that, the other thing is when it comes to the whole police thing. Look, I got guys I've coached football. They're officers and they're good dudes. But we talk about how long it takes to become a doctor, how long it takes to become a nurse, how long it takes to become all these things, and you can go through police academy in a couple months. And you're expected to know all these laws and all these rules and whatever else, right? And at the same time, learn how to deal with people. At the very same time, and the thing is, they say defund. That's accurate in a sense, but let's move some of that money and put it into training, more training. Don't make it a 2-month. Okay, yeah, here's how you shoot, right? Here's how you use your taser. Oh yeah, you got to use it on yourself. Pepper spray. Let's spend more time training. Let's spend more time on how to deal with people and manage certain situations. That's what.
Yeah, I don't understand the defund concept.
Well, I
I'll be
understand the
honest with
defund
you.
because hold on, because it's in a sense of, you know, when they got these police departments, and I'm not talking about the ones like where Riverside. I'm talking about the bigger cities where they got vehicles that look like military vehicles, and they've got all this cache of weapons and all this gear and all this other stuff. When they're saying they can take some of that money and take it away, so they don't get the ability to buy military grade vehicles and hire resource officers. You know, I forgot the city. I had to look it up, but they've done away with a lot of that stuff. And why not invest it in social services where you have, you know, look, if somebody's calling because, you know, a kid is irate and mom can't handle the kid and they call the police and they send the police out there, 2 cops, why can't you send out a social worker? Because that's what that situation calls for. It doesn't call for a guy with a gun to show up. It calls for a social worker to come in and talk to the kid, figure out why he's upset.
So I guess then my issue still is more with word choice, right? It's semantics, right? Because I don't feel that equates to defunding. I think that equates to reallocating. I think we're saying the same thing. So don't spend it on that, spend it on this. We're not taking it away from you. We're saying the dollars don't need to be spent there. They need to be spent on this because this is where we're lacking in that realm. And so defund to me means, okay,
Reallocating and redirecting.
To me, reallocating, redirecting,
right?
And once again, I think it's just semantics.
So when people hear the fund, they're thinking that we're gonna kill police.
Right,
nobody's asking that. We're talking to.
But I feel like, but I feel like, okay, if that is perception, and simply by changing a word, that perception goes away. Then let's change the word. Let's change the perception.
Why do we have to dumb it down? Why can't we treat everybody like they got some daggone sense? And you know what? Google is your friend. It's okay to look it up and research. Oh, wait a minute. We get all the time where people say, well, why don't you do your own research? Don't just listen to the news. You can't trust news outlets anymore. That people tell you to do your own research. Go find some knucklehead on YouTube and follow that guy, but they won't go look up what the word defund the police, the phrase defund the police means. And you can see, I did a quick Google search just now, and it's got an article about 13 cities that have defunded their police departments. And it took me 5 seconds. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm tired of the whole do your own research, but you're gonna go post something about some dude who's in his basement filming, and he's got so many viewers and followers. And you take that as legitimate instead of look, I get it. Media sources sometimes make mistakes. Everybody's in a race, right? It's a race against time to get the story out. And sometimes it may be erroneous.
Right.
And you know, and they make corrections all the time. But that hasn't changed. The media has been like that since media. Period, right? I watched a show, speaking of shows, we'll talk about this later. But I watched a show where there's a news journalist. This is back in, I don't know what year it was. They were still moving stuff via buggy and carriage, right? And the dude was writing a story about the town, and he lied about everything associated with the town. I mean, because that's the nature.
Because the media outlet said it
to sell papers and whatnot, right? So look, invest if you want to do something, invest in yourself and learn how to use Google, and then discern, like that word. Discern what is true and what isn't.
Saying discernment, right? And so now we're banking on a level of intelligence.
I get it.
Allows you to discern, and now you're back at the square one.
Okay, so I got 2 more things I want to talk about. The response of when we talk about Black Lives Matter and the police stop killing people of color, and I get a response of, but white people kill white people too. What's that mean? There are more white people killing white people, blah, blah, blah. What's that mean? Or no, cops kill white people too. That's the response. And then my response is, then why aren't you up in arms then? If cops are killing more white people, then why aren't you out protesting? I didn't say looting. I didn't say rioting. Why aren't you out protesting? Why aren't you pushing for change? For judges, sheriffs, elected officials. Why aren't you pushing for that change? And then the other response that you get is, what about Chicago? They're killing each other in Chicago. That's dumb. Because when civilians, right? When civilians kill each other, that's different from people that we pay to protect us kill us. Right? So if me and my neighbor get into it and my neighbor kills me or vice versa, that is different from the person that we pay and expect to show up to help me killing me. So that's a false equivalency. It's not the same. So I'm tired of hearing that response. Whoever's listening and you say that, stop saying that, because it's wrong. If I kill Tony because he owes me $1, that is not the same as the police officer pulling me over and he's nervous because I'm big and black and he shoots and kills me. He shoots me 7 times in the back. But we can see a lot of videos where the Caucasian brother is swinging on the cop. The one in the store where he's got the cop in a headlock. The one where the dude gets out the truck with the cop pointing the gun at him, calls him a pig, Colin Kaepernick socks, pig socks, gets back in the truck, no shots, throws his license at him. There's the license, you pig, you effing pig. No shots fired.
That convenience store video was about 20 minutes long, by the way, but go ahead.
Yeah. How about
rolling around on the ground, fighting over a taser?
And who helped him? Who helped him?
I saw a lot of black folks helping.
That's what I'm saying. And what about the young dude where the cop pulls over the young dude, the dude gets on the ground and he gets up. He's chasing the cop. The cop is running from him. Running. And then the dude circles back around, gets in the cop car. That dude is not shot and killed. That's the problem. The problem isn't that the problem isn't that cops are being hard. You know, cops are going to be hard. You're going to run into someone if you don't do the right thing. Look, if you don't follow all the instructions and they're a little nervous, they're human too, but maybe they shouldn't be in that job. But you know what? They're a little nervous. Just follow the instructions. I get that part of it, man. But when we do and we still get capped, that's a problem. And you see these cats do things that are far worse and they don't get anything. They don't get anything. And then when we do finally get them arrested and they take them to court, they get off. Because these police unions got plenty of money to pay for the attorneys, the high power attorneys, to get them off.
I think once again that the folks that need to be most enraged are the ones that are being represented by the ones that you're speaking of.
Yeah.
And me personally, I don't want to be represented by someone that doesn't carry the same respect for the position that I would. I feel like that is basic 101. You want to see change, and have some folks getting real upset that they're made to be looking that way.
There's my man, Brody. He's
Dog.
fired up too. He's fired up too. He's had enough too. Let me read you this. The country's 2 largest cities, New York and Los Angeles, approved budget cuts weeks after protests began. New York slashed $1 billion from its 2021 budget, totaling $88.9 billion, reallocating $354 million to mental health, homelessness, and education services, while Los Angeles approved a $150 million budget cut from its $1.86 billion proposed budget. We need that much money? Reallocating it to mental health, homelessness, and education services. I just mentioned to you the homeless are out here wilding out in front of the crib. I mean, that's what it is. So when you call the police because you're at the Wendy's, they hang out down there at the Wendy's down the street, and you feel like you're in fear, so you dial 911 and the police show up because the homeless dude is wilding out. He's having a mental breakdown, right? Because a lot of the homeless you see have mental issues. The cops don't need to show up for that necessarily. If they do, there needs to be some kind of social worker there. And let's get him into the right path or program instead of him losing it and then he gets shot and killed because he's got a mental issue. I'm just saying. We need the police.
Absolutely.
I appreciate the police.
Absolutely.
When they do the right things, and they should be held to a higher standard than me. I'm known to wild out. There we go. There we go. I heard it. That's a fine.
Oh no, that was my house was being opened. Let me know that somebody's coming into my home.
Are you sure?
No.
It's fine. I'm a fine.
But I'll pay the 50 cents to the jar.
That's what's up. I've had enough, man. Well, we can talk about it again.
Let's segue off of that.
Yeah.
Into the reaction. Right now, we talk about, all these things going on and how are people going to react and who's, looking to facilitate change. The NBA, united their voice this week.
Okay.
And some people like it. Some people love it. Some people don't. It reminds me of when I was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite basketball player didn't want to be called a role model.
Right.
Charles Barkley, Sir Charles.
Yeah.
And Sir Charles would act sometimes in such a way that was not a great role model to me. But he made no bones about it. He was not a role model. Whose job was that, Sean? Whose job was it to make sure little Tony was going the right direction? His parents.
That's right.
Not Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley took a lot of criticism for that from folks. So you are in the public eye. You should carry yourself a different way. Their eyes are on you. What you do and say matters.
Right.
Then we go to MJ, his airness, the GOAT in a lot of respects. We talk about MJ and his lack of using his voice and position when it came to politics or social issues while he was a player, while he was really in that limelight and could have had a huge effect.
Right.
And people criticized him. Well, why would you not use your stature to do good? And people said you should be doing that. Now, fast forward to 2020 and the likes of LeBron James and Chris Paul and all these different very, very, very vocal NBA players. And they get criticized for taking a stand, for using their stature, for wanting to try to use their position to make positive change. And I just don't get it. I don't get what is the why now would folks not want to see that?
Right.
When that's what they all called for before.
Yeah.
Is it because they don't like the message?
That's the message and who it's for. If this was a protest or a boycott or something that would positively affect white vote, they wouldn't. If this was a boycott to say, you know what, I need all white people to get a $1 raise, no issues. But the minute you make it specific, just like the phrase Black Lives Matter, the minute you make it specific, now they feel like they're being excluded, and that's the furthest thing from the truth. This is for equality, for all people, right? We want to be treated just the same as everybody else, but so the group that's in majority, we want to be treated like you guys when it comes to the police and the courts, and education and access to loans, right? We want jobs. We want that treatment. Doc Rivers said, we love this country. We do so much, and we love this country so much, and this country doesn't love us back. Because we don't get treated the same. We pay the same amount of taxes. I get taxed the same. When it comes to redlining, access to loans, sometimes healthcare, it's not the same. Education for sure. Money for schools in the inner city, different from money in schools in the suburbs. We know that. Why is that? Redlining. Just saying. The system is broken. And they're boycotting to get the system fixed. And look, the woman got shot. The police not raided the woman, shot and killed her, and they still haven't charged the officers? I mean, come on. If that's Karen in Centerville, officers would be charged. I'm just saying.
And the call is, we want answers.
We want answers.
Tell us why. Tell us why. There's no legitimate answer.
None.
Why? And so it brings me back to my original statement, and that is, when these folks don't use their voice, their position, they're criticized.
Right.
Because they could.
Oh, you know.
And then when they do use their voice, position, because it's not the narrative that some people want
right.
publicized.
Right.
It's quit using your voice. You know, and I hate to pile on, but that is exactly the message that comes from the leader of our country.
That's right.
And that is, we don't want to see you, Colin Kaepernick, voicing your opinion on social issues in front of everybody, because that's not your job.
And
play football.
And be happy that you're in a position to make millions of dollars. Be grateful
for
what we've allowed you to have.
Shut up and go dribble the basketball. We don't need to hear that. Well, the response that I heard somebody say this week, and this is someone's opinion, is, well, if you did your job better, we wouldn't have to.
That's right.
And I think, listen, we talk about this every week and we make no bones about it, whether you're on this side or that side as it pertains to a political affiliation or whatever.
I don't care.
Listen, that's not the point here.
Yeah. We're talking about right and wrong. Yeah.
We're talking about right and wrong. We're talking about getting this country to a point that we've all heard it can get to. No. Those that feel it's there, it isn't. That's just the fact.
Right.
But it can get there. But I think it's going to require, man, the younger generation. We talk about that, but the fact is, listen, as long as we're electing 70 to 80-year-old rich, anyway, it's like, man, look, as long as we're electing 70 to 80-year-old rich white men to lead the country, nothing is changing.
No.
It's just the fact.
Right.
And we have a ton, on whatever side you're on, a ton of young, energetic, progressive thinkers. Why is this all we have to pick from?
Yeah.
Why is that not changing in the least?
Well, that's just for the presidential spot, right? You see young folk running for Congress.
Yes.
But the problem is, if you look closely at some of those people, what's his name? Matt Gaetz down in Florida. He's young. And he's just as racist as that dude that's in the White House. And I said he's racist. Look, it's been proven that he's racist because the state of New York sued him for denying people of color access to living in his apartment buildings because they would mark in the applications with a C encircling it, and then they would say, oh, that's for a colored person, so we won't accept that application. And the state sued him and won. So he's racist. I'm going to say it. So the young dude, we're talking about getting young people in here, that Matt Gaetz dude down in Florida is just as bad. Do a Google search on him. He's just as bad. So it's about, look, they're going to teach their kids how to act. Because guess what? I feel like his kids might be racist too. That junior, he's just a jerk just like him. So young ain't got nothing to do with it, man. It's how you're taught. You're taught to be a racist, and you're going to grow up with the racist ideas and concepts.
I believe that. But I also go back to a conversation you and I had a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And you made the point to me, it is a lot better now than it was when our parents were coming up and what they had to deal with. And I remember you saying that to me. And so what that tells me is mindset is changing.
Right.
Is it changing fast enough? No,
No.
because it's not where it could be and
Right.
where it should be and where it needs to be. But the mindset is changing. So what that tells me is there are more young thinkers that are coming up that think the right way.
Yeah. Uh,
Yes, we're always going to, man,
yeah,
listen,
you're right.
we're never going to flush it all out.
No.
We're never going to flush it all
And it's
out.
like
I feel like change depends on those folks, in my opinion.
right. It's like turning a cruise
I
ship.
feel like we need more of those folks.
You can't turn a cruise ship around real quick. It takes it's a slow go. You know, if you're heading north in a cruise ship and you want to go south, ain't no
Analogy.
hairpin. It's just gonna take a while to turn. We would have never gotten Barack Obama in the 60s. Right? So it has changed.
no.
It has changed. And I want to get back to the old sports thing that we were talking about and boycotting and whatnot. I think it's funny how the way people respond to it, you know, they're negatively responding to it. I think it's funny that your favorite team is Ohio State, as an example, and that team is majority black, and your favorite basketball player ever is Michael Jordan, right? And you know, you love whatever, but the moment they try to stand up and do something right to make it fair for other people, your response is just shut up and play. I'm boycotting. I'm not going to watch it anymore. That's your response. But you can root for them if they're running and entertaining your stupid butt on Saturday, right? Scoring touchdowns. As long as they're scoring touchdowns and making you happy, we're good. But the moment they're a person who thinks and feels, they're a human, now it's just shut up. Be happy with what you've gotten. That's the thing you hear about Colin Kaepernick. He's lucky to be in a spot. He got adopted by his white parents and he got all this money. What are you talking about? He's still a person. My friend Carlos Jones, I coached him and he stated something to the effect of, how can they not have opinions? They're human. How much money they make or whatever their status is, that doesn't exclude them from feeling any way.
You make too much money to complain.
Yeah. You should be happy, colored boy, that you got all this money and status.
Because the misconception is when you have the money, you no longer deal with social issues.
Yeah.
And now, granted, you have the money, you're liked by a different, we say liked, you are accepted in some respects by a different group.
Well, look.
With that being said, all the money in the world isn't going to make some people look at you any differently.
Your money or your job. Understand this, Doc Rivers' father was a cop. Doc Rivers had a house burned down because he was married to a white woman. So what's that mean? Martin Luther King Jr., he was a preacher. Killed that dude. What are we talking about? So your job and your how much money you make, that don't mean nothing. It means nothing. So as long as we're entertaining you, shucking and jiving in front of you, we're good. But don't you open your colored mouth to help anybody else. You keep entertaining me. I'm going to boycott, please. Please boycott. I don't want to hear you saying OH this fall. I don't want to hear you rooting for your Bengals or whoever else. I don't want to hear it because it's all lip service. Don't sit there and tell me I'm not racist. Don't post on Facebook that you're not racist and then turn around and tell them to just shut up when they're talking about bodies in the streets to semi-quote Colin Kaepernick, because there's bodies in the streets. It wasn't in the military. It wasn't about the bodies in the streets. So when we stand up to do the right thing, who was the UFC dude talking about LeBron should give up his job, his cushy job, and his privileged life and be a cop? How about this? Because he's gotten to where he is now, he's able to help kids go to college. He's opened up a school, and it wasn't a charter school. It was a public school, right, for kids to go. And when they get done, they get guaranteed to get college paid for. Oh, by the way, he's provided housing for some of those families who can't afford any place to stay that's decent. He's done so much more as an athlete than the dude that's sitting in the White House for people of color. And if somebody's tried to tell me something, he's done more for black people. That's a daggone lie. So basically, you want LeBron to be a cop because he said cops should be held to a higher standard. So by that rationale, that UFC dude is telling you, Tony, you should go be a cop because you don't like how cops treat people of color. And look, you do a lot in your community. You work with kids, right? That's the whole community thing, right? Everybody pitching in to help raise these kids and get them in the right path. Give them something else besides mom and dad. Sometimes you need somebody else to tell you something to reinforce what mom and dad are saying. Somebody else to hold you accountable. I don't want to let coach down. Parents need that sometimes, and that's okay. Because let me tell you something. If it wasn't for Coach Johnson, I know I would have done a lot of things. If it wasn't for some of them football coaches, Coach Floyd, Coach Fancher, Coach Pruitt, Coach Borg, Coach Klinger, I'd have been doing all kind of crazy stuff. But my fear of letting them down has stopped me from doing it. So he wants you to stop what you're doing, helping, with kids in your community to go be a cop because you feel like they need more training. What kind of sense is that? That doesn't make any sense.
You know what, though? The problem is anybody can have a mic.
Right. Maybe we'll tag him.
Anybody can.
I'm going to tag him in this. I'm going to clip this part and send it to him.
Both tag him. Let's ask him to join the Getaway podcast. No,
yeah, he can get on the show. He can get on the show.
Getaway.
I'll light him up. He can get on the show. I just don't be a dummy.
A different podcast for that.
Huh? So look, we got about 8 minutes.
Yes. So with that being said, the NBA is back playing now.
Yes.
Definitely appreciate the stance that they took.
Yeah.
Because it meant
thank you
something to them.
To me too.
You know what? They stood their ground.
Right.
They locked their arms, showed solidarity with the Bucks, Milwaukee Bucks, because that's the first group that decided to do that.
Right.
Because it was in their backyard. So kudos to them. It's bigger than just playing basketball. It's bigger than just money.
Respect, son.
Being able to exactly. So beyond that, I feel like my Lakers are now turning the corner once again.
Oh man!
Showing why they are the number one seed in the West.
Man.
Showing why they are the favorites to win the NBA championship this year. AD has 43 yesterday. Dominates. Dameless. Trailblazer team.
Dameless.
Send them home. Send them fishing, right?
But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, gone fishing. They were breaking brooms on TNT in there, right? But you know what, man? I want to say shout out to my dude, Syracuse Orange alum, Carmelo Anthony, for his bounce back.
Yes.
He bounced back, man.
Yes.
They didn't want to get that dude. Hey, Hoodie Mello was ready to go all the time, and they didn't want to give him a shot because he's mid-range dude. He don't shoot threes. But he was like, hey, he kept them in the game hitting jumpers from the free throw line. I'm just saying.
I was happy to see that.
Yes.
I was happy to see that. I'm happy to see that Portland is relevant.
Yes.
Right now. Oh, also shout out to the Portland community. Lost Clifford Robinson.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Look, 53, too young.
Too young, man. Too young. So, like I said, it's all around us. I'm excited as the NBA playoffs continue to move on. Still gives us something to watch, along with hopefully some more big-time college football. We had an announcement this week that talks are occurring within the Big Ten.
Yeah.
To play games.
That dude's in trouble. The commissioner's in trouble.
We'll have to have our friend Jeff Cooks back on in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And just once again present him with his prize.
Hey man,
that is the butt whooping that will be.
He asked me. I told Jeff. I said I'm considering, because this is not a democracy. This is a dictatorship. I said I am considering having you on once a month, just so we can mess with him. He said, okay, what kind of mic do I need? Tell me what I sent him the mic that you have. I sent him the link. I said, buy the mic. Look, I got the graphics. My man, hold on.
Scuzzy 19.
He already set up the graphics for a third person. He's got his name in there. We're ready to go, man. So we're going to have him on there. We're going to beat the hell out of him.
No, but excited to see, hopefully, college football starting up. Hope
I
not
watched
sure
the game
with
last
the
night.
NFL. I got NFL tickets this year. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to use them. But what it looks like is we'll be able to at least watch them on TV. Hopefully,
Yeah.
folks do the things that it takes.
Yeah. Wash your hands.
Stay safe.
Wash your hands.
Wash your stinking hands.
I told Eva, hey, we could have bet on this game. I bet Central Arkansas and Austin P last night. I watched it. Austin P's got a kickback. Austin P's got a kickback. Ohio State running back Sneed. You guys remember him? You guys don't remember. He was a 5-star dude from Florida. I can't remember his first name. He got kicked out of school. Had an event there. We don't need to go into particulars. I hate when they do that. He got kicked out. Okay. He went to JUCO. Went to JUCO for a year. Handled his business, and he's back at the FCS level, Austin P. And he is really nice running back. But I was like, man, I could have bet on this game. I bet.
You know what? We need sports, man. We need sports, and
it makes me happy.
Not just to entertain us, but sports does have a way of bringing folks together. And I think right now, as a nation, we need those things to bring us together, because there's a lot of things tearing us apart.
Yeah.
And hopefully, as we continue to move down the road, hopefully the voices that begin to be the loudest are the ones that are trying to unite things,
right,
and not tear them apart, because we're seeing a lot of that right now.
That's right.
Definitely looking forward to being able to take a little time away, watch some sports here and there, and also get to next week and Getaway again on the Getaway podcast with Tony and Sean.
Oh, and I'm not done, son. Hold on. I'm not done, son.
Not yet.
You see the picture up there? That's for Bonnie. That's for them Stebbins Indians.
That dude is thin.
Huh?
He's slim and trim. Was that? Let me ask you.
I had a head full of hair. Here comes the jokes.
Hold on. Was that before or after Herb Street, Centerville, and Ohio State?
Why you gotta do that?
Duked you out of your shorts.
Why you gotta do that, man?
I'm just asking.
That was senior year there. That's my senior picture. And the Herb Street event was my sophomore year, and I was just a young dude, didn't know any better, playing out of position.
Recognize that hairline, though.
Stupid.
Recognize that hairline.
Shout out Stebbins Indians. But
shout out.
So I gave you a show to watch. What was it earlier I told you to watch? Have you seen this? I forgot what it was already.
Have you seen this?
I forgot what Sean was telling you. You said you've never seen it.
Listen, neither one of us gonna remember stuff, man. Come on, we gotta write it down.
The latest thing that I just watched, Godless on Netflix. Godless. What's the dude that plays in Dumb and Dumber? Not Jim Carrey.
Oh, the dumb one.
They're both dumb. Jeff Bridges. No, that's not him. What's his name?
I don't know. Owen Wilson.
No, it's not.
I don't know.
Not Owen Wilson. Jeff Daniels. Jeff Daniels.
That'd be good. You know what though? If you would have been like, yeah, that's him.
Jeff Daniels is the main bad guy in this. It's really quick.
Daniels.
It's 6 or 7 episodes. 7 episodes, I think. And they're about an hour long.
Godless.
Sam Watterson from Law and Order, he's in it real quick. Dog, it's really, really good. So Godless. That's what I'm watching.
The Last Narc?
I did watch it.
Did you like it?
It was really good. And I told you it was based off of Narcos, the show on Netflix. But this one had the actual people that were in it. So it was really good.
Okay. Yes. All right, man. Well, I know we got deep this week. Sometimes it's just what it is. What episode was this today?
Oh, man.
This
is episode 8, so we got to go Kobe.
Yeah. Episode 8, a.k.a. episode Boogie, because that's his football number.
Okay.
And he's playing football again this year. So Kobe and Boogie in the same light. I love it.
That's what I'm talking about. Kobe and Boogie. I'm down with it.
The white mamba.
Oh.
The light beige mamba.
What?
In Braylon.
What? That's what I'm talking about. The white mamba?
Come over here.
Is that how we're doing it?
This is episode Kobe, a.k.a. episode Braylon. Come here. light beige mamba.
Hold on.
Right here. My man.
Say it again.
Light beige mamba.
What up, B?
Right my man. All right, man.
All right, man.
So, good talking to you.
I'm just saying, man, you did a good job. This week you didn't screw anything up, right?
Love it.
For once, you didn't mess anything up.
That sounded good again, too.
Oh, equipment goes a long way, man. It means a lot when you have the right technology.
Shout out to Scuzzy, what is it? yes. Shout out to Sean. Getting me right. And we're gonna keep getting right. Y'all weekly.
Yes.
Getaway podcast with Talking Sean.
That's what's up.
Good week, brother.
Say word, son.
Word, son. Word, son.
Word, son.